What's up, everybody? Great start to the new year. Welcome to episode 148 of the Planet Destiny podcast. Happy New Year, everybody. Hi, guys. Happy New Year. Woo! I don't have streamers anymore because it's been like a week, but yo, man, it's 2018 already, and we're here. Another week in the world of Destiny, and we are your hosts. We've got our usual roundtable, starting off with Mr. Nim Plays himself. What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Haven't spoken to you since last year. Where you been?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
You ducking me?
A little bit.
Please, Link.
Better have my money.
Dad jokes.
Better have my money.
I got it.
And there, critiquing my dad jokes, Mr. Fallout Plays.
Yo, what's going on?
The doctor of thugonomics himself. Look at him. Look at that face. Straight out of an Eminem video. Look at it.
Incredible.
Beautiful.
That baby face.
And of course, Miss Moonvald. What's
Hello.
up? Hi.
Not much.
Happy New Year. How you doing?
Yes, you do. I'm pretty good.
Thanks.
I'm ready to kick this thing off.
I see you've had a full year of hair growth, since last year.
Oh my god.
Mine stays the same height. It doesn't change. It just
yeah.
gets fuzzier. But welcome. We're back. We're here to talk about some of the new things going on in Destiny, of which there is none. Podcast over. We're done.
Shut it down.
That's it.
Have a good week, everybody.
But we haven't had an episode for the past couple of weeks. Of course, we had Christmas Eve and then New Year's Eve fall on the podcast day. So we took a couple of weeks off to enjoy time with our loved ones. And by loved ones, I mean video games, because that's pretty much all I did for my holiday days.
Yes.
What about you guys? How was your Christmas? How was your New Year's?
Busy. I working. Like
Me
crazy.
too. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took a ton of time off. I just ate a lot of food, and I drank a lot of beer. And, maybe the best holiday I've ever had. Just food and drinking and doing nothing.
That sounds pretty great.
But now I'm back. We back, baby.
Good. Well,
That's the
good
same
to have
for
you
me.
back.
Yep.
Yeah, no, not too bad. Anybody play any Destiny over the past couple of weeks?
Oh yes.
I mean, it's not required reading for the class, but maybe a little bit.
I'm cleaning out my vault inventory right now.
Got to make room for that whole new year of stuff, right?
Yeah, I've seen your vault Fallout. It's kind of heinous.
Yeah, I know. I know. What are you going to do? But the shit builds up. Look, okay, Budgie, if you just took the time to let us delete things from the postmaster, I wouldn't have to go through this bullshit, all right? If it weren't for Dim, I would have put a bullet in my brain months ago, all right?
Yo.
How am I supposed to identify what bullshit garbage items I have to throw away? This is the best plug for Dim ever.
You can leave your postmaster as is and just pick out whatever you need.
Yo, thank you. I was gonna say, can we talk? Can we just talk about how wonderful Dim is? Because Dim, I don't know if you guys use Dim. It's Destiny Item Manager. Yeah. If you're not using it, you should be using it. It makes your life so much easier. But they recently added an update that allows you to pull things from your postmaster directly to your vault. Like, you no longer have to go to the postmaster to pull that stuff out. Mm-hmm. I don't know what sort of programming wizardry they did, but that's like the most amazing thing, to not have to log into the game to be like, oh, 5th Better Devils, to the vault you go. I'll hold on to you for later. Oh, man. Good things.
Wait, what did you just say?
You can pull stuff from your vault or from your postmaster and just send it straight to the vault now. You don't have to go talk to the postmaster anymore.
You can?
Do it right now. Right now.
Wait a
Live
minute.
test.
Okay,
Do it
hold on.
right this second.
I can put it in my... Wait, no, it's not... No, okay, I have something in the postmaster.
Yep.
It's not letting me click vault, though.
Just drag it.
Just drag it? Mm-hmm. That's a long drag. Okay, hold on. I have to scroll up, though.
It's letting me do it. Okay, you can't put it in your vault. It should show the icon for your character now.
Okay, you can't do it in the vault, but you can bring it right to your character?
Yes.
Holy shit, dude. Game changer.
Magic! It's like magic. I don't know how in the world they added that, but whatever. They did, and it's great.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
If only I had worthwhile items to... Sorry.
Maybe next week.
A little early for the vault.
Maybe next week.
But it's happening.
But yeah, it's a whole new year. We've got a whole new year of Destiny, and I figured a good way to start this off, people like to start the new year with their New Year resolutions that they keep for 2 weeks and then slide that under the table.
Don't call me out like this.
I figured a more positive thing to do would be to start things off by talking about, it's a new year in Destiny. what new things would we like to see in Destiny? What good changes would you like to see? Because I know there's a bunch of negative things we could focus on, like your girl Tess.
Okay, so if anybody says the word Eververse, you have to donate like $1 to St. Jude's. I'm just calling it right now.
It's like a swear jar. Every time you say
exactly.
Eververse, you have to give money away. You're already doing that with Eververse. I just said it.
Gotta
Gotta get my wallet. Gotta get my wallet.
It's $1. Sorry, buddy.
Fell for it.
Gotta
Baited.
do it.
But yeah, I mean, it's just because, we all know what state Destiny 2's in right now. It's not in the best of states overall. And there's a lot of changes that we'd like to see come into the game. And I figured, rather than focus on what should die in the game, why don't we focus on some positive things that we'd like to see or that we hope are coming at least sometime soon within the year of 2018. I mean, rather start the year off on a positive note.
6v6. I want that.
6v6.
Yeah, 6v6 for Crucible. I want it back badly. I want to
Thrive
play
on
with my
that
pals.
chaos. Yeah.
I
I
think
want to play with my pals.
I think that's actually a really interesting place to start because I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the subreddit this past week. Somebody in the community did something absolutely incredible in that they went to Bungie headquarters
Oh, and high-fived everybody.
and high-fived everybody there and just said, I'm not here to complain. I know you guys have been going through a rough time. I just want to high-five people. And the Bungie devs went nuts for it. They're like, yay, let's do that. And so he got a chance to go behind the scenes at Bungie, high-five devs, and just sit down and talk with some of them, while they were on their lunch breaks and stuff like that. And that was one of the things that he says was brought up to him by devs. A lot of devs behind the scenes want 6v6 to come back. And while, of course, they're not going to confirm or deny whether or not that's going to be a thing, I thought it was really interesting to hear that one of his biggest points in making this post was that a lot of the community frustrations are things not only felt by Bungie employees, they're things that are kind of pushed behind the scenes. Like, 6v6 should be a thing. Yeah, the mod system should probably be expanded a little bit more. Yeah, Masterworks are cool. Let's make a bigger, better system out of it. And I thought that was a really, really cool moment amongst a month or 3 of just absolute salt from everybody in the community that, I don't know, I thought it was a good way to start 2018, just high five a dev, talk to people.
Yeah, that sounds kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean
Cool
that's
about 66.
definitely like some some kind of like positivity that must have been nice to feel.
Oh man.
Amongst the
Yeah.
sea of like anger.
But yeah, super anger.
Yeah, because things have definitely been rather salty as of late, and some of it's definitely justified. There's definitely some things that the community is legit upset about, and they should be upset about those things. But we have to remember sometimes that it's never a developer's goal when creating a game to say, "Oh man, how am I going to screw over the players today?" Oh, you know what? Kids really like that 6v6. Let's give them 4v4 just to screw with them. Nobody behind the scenes is making those kinds of decisions with the explicit purpose of harming anybody in their community. And it's easy to forget that when we go through all the things that we've gone through with Destiny 2, what with the XP throttling and the way Eververse is handled right now, and, some of the lackluster or content within the DLCs. But I think it's good to remember these are people who create the game. They obviously love the game. They obviously love the community. And cut them some slack, Don't blame a dev. Yeah. It's not the art designer's fault. Yeah.
And it's going to take time to fix things, but I have faith.
Yeah, I do too. And hopefully we'll be hearing from Bungie fairly soon, as we've seen over the past week. Deej has been making some tweets basically saying people are slowly starting to come back off of their holiday vacation, and we should be hearing from them this week. And I'm trying to figure out how exactly they're going to approach this with the community, because there's a lot of things going on right now, and after 2 weeks or 3 weeks of silence, really.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they're just going to drop up like patch notes for Faction Rally and Iron Banner and then leave it alone. We have to be getting some kind of roadmap, right?
Yeah, I think we might get something similar to what they did previously when they talked about like the Masterworks and all that other stuff. I hope it's something like that where it was lengthy and meaty.
Meaty and lengthy. Well put, Nem. Yeah. Sly Dog US. I see you, Nem. I see you, buddy. But what was nice and refreshing? It was nice seeing Because if you had told me like a week ago that like, hey, by the way, someone's gonna go on BTG and they're gonna post like a post like, hey, I went to the Bungie headquarters and waited outside for high fives. I was like, cool. Like, link me the post later when it gets dug out of like downvote hell, because like no one on DTG is gonna give a shit about that. But yeah, I was kind of pleasantly surprised that it was upvoted so much, and it was gilded a bunch of times, and there was a lot of positivity in the comment section. It's like
it was.
We're all kind of a lot of people are kind of tight right now, and we're talking about how we want the game to be and what it is right now, and how can we like, you know, bridge the gap between the two ideas. Yeah. And it was like really cool, just being like, oh yeah, you know what? There still are a shitload of people out there who really love the game and like aren't bathing in like battery acid internet toxicity. It's just like, fuck Bungie. Yeah. But it's like, it was nice to see that post get upvoted a bunch. That was kind of cool. Really so good for that guy.
A little bit of positivity there, and I think that's always important. You got to balance that with the criticism, you know.
True.
Criticism for the sake of criticism doesn't really benefit anybody, especially not the player. And so, yeah, I thought it was good to see that sort of thing, and hopefully we see more olive branches like that moving forward.
Yeah, it's nice to see how active Christopher has been on Twitter lately, considering they've been on holiday. Like, you know, he didn't have to put any of that information out there because, you know, they're on vacation. So it was nice for, you know, to see, you know, that they know what's wrong, and we're getting a bit of news this week. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I know it's really circle jerky and trendy right now to like make fun of Bungie specifically for the quote, "We're listening."
Yeah.
Like that's sort of like the new flavor of the month of like making fun of Bungie.
Before it was 2 tokens in a blue or something.
2 tokens in a blue.
Hashtag,
Look,
working as intended.
It's funny. Yeah, oh my god, dude, we could have like a fucking bingo card of every community joke against Bungie. And look, we know Bungie's far from perfect. All right, the game far from perfect, depending on who you ask. Absolutely. I would say far from perfect, but it's just like I feel like it's a no-win situation, because if Bungie doesn't talk to us, then people are like, well, we're getting like no communication from Bungie. What's going on? They're keeping us in the dark. They promised that we would have open communication and blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, they're like, hey, you know, it's like the Christmas holiday and all of our employees are like out enjoying the holiday. But, you know, when we get back, we're going to start talking about yada, yada. And people are like, don't tell us stuff like this. Don't talk to us unless you actually have something to say. Like, hashtag we're listening. It's like, bro, like, okay, what do you want them to not say anything? Or like, because they're not going to be like, oh, hey, it's Christmas morning. Here's our plan for like how to fucking fix the game.
Yeah, again, they're people. They have lives.
Yeah, they have they have lives. They have families, you know what I mean?
Blows
like,
my mind sometimes.
It sucks. I'm there with you. I want changes to the Sandbox. Nobody wants changes to the Sandbox more than your boy Fallout, all right? Don't think that I'm a shill. Hand me that bungo check. There we go. Sign that in the bank. Shill check. I want changes to the Sandbox, okay? They're coming, I think. Hopefully. Dear God. Okay, but...
Hopefully.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just... The making fun of the comment we're listening is, like, sort of starting to irritate me, but...
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, to be completely honest with you, right now, I've kind of muted a whole... slew of words on Twitter, just because it gets
That'd be a good idea. Yeah.
It's so like tiring to see the same thing just over and over and over again. Like, I know what's wrong with the game. I know, you know, it's not in a good spot.
Yeah, it's like
so
the same 3 arguments regurgitated over and over and over and over and over again, and it becomes so pedantic and so counterproductive.
Pedantic.
Give it a rest, people.
Good SAT word, Moon.
5-star word.
Thank you.
Professor
Moon putting everybody else down in here right now.
Fucking hell. But that's the classic. But yeah. Like that's what you say on a podcast when you have nothing else to say, but you don't want dead air. These are behind the scenes tips that you're not going to get anywhere else. But yeah.
Exactly.
And I mean, I'm trying to think of ways not to skew towards the negative right now, because so many things are kind of played out. I think the PD podcast channel, it put up a video recently talking a bit about Eververse, and it kind of gave our ideas for how we feel overall. And all I'm going to say about Eververse is, I think there are problems with it. I when you look at it and you see something like Curse of Osiris, where like 50% of the items introduced in that DLC were Eververse items, I think, okay, well, that's a little excessive. But people keep asking me this, and I question them. If we were to take Eververse completely out of the game, like, take this hypothetical. If you removed Eververse completely, would it solve all of Destiny 2's problems?
God, no.
Fuck no, dude. There's so much more we gotta deal with.
No, because it's not the source. It's being treated right now kind of as the source of all Destiny 2's woes, and there's kind of this narrative that if it gets removed, and you guys are, I'm going to get this shill. Don't worry, I'll take all the shill hate right now. But there's the narrative that if it gets removed, that all of Destiny 2's problems are solved. No, not even slightly.
And the sun will just shine down upon the community. No.
Rahul's beautiful face. No, Ava Levante's beautiful face in the sky will just come out like, you did it, my children. You got rid of the darkness. It was Tess all along. And it's like, no, there's like so many structural issues with Destiny 2 right now. And I think Eververse has a lot of problems. If any of you guys watch any of my live streams, I like to go on rants about things in Destiny 2. And there are issues with Eververse. I think a lot of the items that are for sale in that should be attainable in game. But it's not the end-all, be-all of all of Destiny 2's problems. There are so many other things going on right now. And while I do think it's important to bring attention to stuff like Eververse, calling for the death of Tess Evers probably isn't going to do much. No. And that's not like a shot at anybody. I thought Briar Rabbit's video was hilarious. Yeah. But I'm
gonna set community expectations right now.
Okay, go for it.
If you ever think that they're going to remove the Eververse from the game, put aside your feelings about how you feel about it, because I don't like it either. It's got good and bad to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we were in a place with the game where we really loved everything about the game, it was just like a perfect everything. Everybody was happy about it, and like the numbers were crazy, and it was like the #1 top 5 games viewed on Twitch every week.
Yep.
Then we'd be much happier about the Eververse, because like we wouldn't care. We'd have stuff to do. We don't have anything to do right now, which is why we're complaining about Eververse, because there's nothing else to do. But like, if you think for a minute that they're going to remove Eververse from the game, you are going to be disappointed, my friends. I'm not saying that I defend their decision for keeping it in the game, because they will. Like, they're trying to do ways of getting additional side income, and from a business perspective, like, you got to remember, Bungie and Activision, they're a business, all right? And as much as they want to make a good product, they also have to make money so they can keep making a product. I don't like that it's that way, but that's just how life works. You know what I mean?
Capitalism.
Yeah.
This is America, people.
That's how it works.
It's fucking America. So it's just a matter of finding that good balance, because other games have systems like the Eververse, but not all games are like equally hated on the current level of like the D2 meta being hated. Like, the worst game that got the worst of it was Battlefront 2. That game was like, that's a perfect example of how to like not do loot
microtransactions.
How to not do microtransactions. Then you have a game like Overwatch, where I'm not super deep in that community, but like I don't see my Twitter feed lighting up with like hashtag remove loot boxes from Overwatch. You know what I mean? It's like, it's different. I think people are okay with the game enough to the point where like, okay, that's kind of shitty they have loot boxes in the game, whatever, it's all cosmetic, who gives a fuck, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's different. I mean, and I would like to see maybe a tweak on how the current system is for the Eververse. Definitely, I think there should be more opportunities to get, I want everybody to win. I know this is like stupid naive optimistic Fallout talking, but like, I want players to feel like, hey, there's a shit ton of really cool items in the game. I can earn them by playing whatever, you know what I mean? I don't have to go to a certain part in the game, pull a lever on a slot machine. Oh boy, I hope I get the fucking whatever. It's like, I didn't get it. Time to grind more. Or you can like pay some money for the whatever. But like, I want everybody to be happy, because I want Bungie to keep making content. I want them to make enough money where they can make, high quality product, if that's like a D2 expansion, if that's a D3, I don't know, whatever that is. I want everybody to be happy. And I'm sure that there's a way we can get there. I don't know how, because I'm not a fucking game developer, but there's got to be a way, right?
And that's just it. You're not a game developer, and neither is anybody else that's been complaining about this.
True.
So it's just a matter of being patient, and I know that's really hard in the wake of like all the EA stuff that's been happening, and it's really easy to use Eververse as a scapegoat for your frustrations, but at least personally, I think it's going to happen. I think things are going to get better, even before next year. So yeah, definitely knock on wood.
Knock on wood, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, going back to the origin of Eververse, we all know the story that it was basically put in place after year one of Destiny 1. Because Bungie just couldn't keep up with the release schedule. Destiny was originally supposed to have its main release, so main game, 2 DLCs, expansion. 2 DLCs, expansion. And they just couldn't keep up with that workload. And it's why after the Taken King, we basically just swapped over to getting 1 expansion a year and live events, and Eververse was meant to fund that. There's actually a really great a podcast by Destiny Tracker where they had Jason Schreier on talking a bit about the history of Eververse and Destiny 2. And there's a couple of things in that, and I kind of want to bring up a little later in the show to talk about. But, yeah, you know, if we could take kind of all of the things you had to chase at the end of Destiny 1, so like all of the strike-specific gear, all of the gear that was specific to game modes like Trials, like Prison of Elders, like for factions and whatnot, if we could put stuff like that in the game, I wouldn't have a problem with Eververse, because I wouldn't really have a need to go to it. Right now, it's like Fallout said, there's really nothing else for people to do in the game, so they look at Eververse and say, oh, well, the cool-looking gear is in there, and I've been playing The Dawning for like a month and haven't gotten a single piece of armor. Why, Bungie? Why? But there we go. And I do have hopes for the game, and I do believe it's capable of getting so much better. And I have to think that Bungie, especially within the past couple of weeks, looking at the community feedback, is working to make the game something people want to play. Like I have to believe that if I'm going to convince myself to continue playing Destiny.
That was a really interesting Reddit post. That one that you just mentioned, the interview with the Destiny Tracker podcast. And what was that fellow's name from Kotaku?
Jason Schreier. Jason
Schreier. That guy's really smart, man. He's a well-spoken dude. I really enjoyed listening to that interview. If you don't know what we're talking about, there was a really great post on the front page of DTG where they clipped like a snippet from the interview with that fellow from Kotaku, and he was basically talking about the development process of how we arrived at the point in the history of Destiny where they were like, you know what, we have to do something different because like the non-stop content updates are like too difficult to put together. Like it's too brutal, and they thought they would do something different where they would do like a big expansion and then do trickle down stuff like the Eververse. And apparently he reported that a long time ago, and no one gave a fuck. But I think just because of the way the game is right now and the way the community is right now, kind of like the angry villagers in like Frankenstein or some bullshit, we're like just ready and waiting for our pitchforks and our torches. And that clip was like, it came out, and even though he talked about it like, God knows how long, like a year and a half ago, like it was
a while ago.
It was all over Twitter. It was all over Reddit. But yeah, it was interesting. Go check that out if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Good show.
Right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I feel like I say the same goddamn thing every week, which is like, look, if you have criticisms about the game, share them. I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, Bungie's like they can't do any wrong, and y'all are just a bunch of haters, and like okay, like they can do.
I can name 10 things they did wrong right now.
Yeah, and as a consumer, you have the right to criticize the product you're consuming.
Just know that if you're gonna criticize the people who are making the game, if you're gonna do it like a douchebag, you're hurting the cause because they're not gonna listen to you. They're gonna be like, oh fuck this guy. Like I'm not gonna they're not gonna take your complaint seriously. But if you approach them. There have been like maybe a small handful of like really good posts on DTG that were like really well written. Where like I read it and I was like, yeah, you know what? That's a fucking
you're right.
upvote for you. Take that upvote. Take it. It was really well written. You know, good thoughts, constructive feedback, and it wasn't just like Bungie is cancer, like something.
End of post.
End of post.
Working as intended. Like.
Oh my god.
Thanks for the input.
Yeah. So shit. Well, that's kind of how it is right now. Let's talk about something fun. God damn it.
Yeah.
Can we talk about something fun? We talk about this gloomy shit every fucking week. What do we talk about?
Mayhem is amazing, and I want it to come back as a default game mode. Yeah.
You too.
Yeah.
You know,
Me too.
this is a question I asked on my stream, and I'm going to ask it to all of you guys. I think there's been a lesson that was taught within the past month, especially with Mayhem and then with the craziness of the Prometheus lens. And I think that lesson was basically people like fun.
Yeah.
People like power.
What a concept.
People will always pick power and fun over balance.
Yeah.
And I think that was I think that was something really important to pay attention to. Of course, if you don't know, when Curse of Osiris came out, the exotic trace rifle, the Prometheus lens, it shipped with a bug where it was doing way more damage than it was supposed to be. It was killing in like a 0.3 seconds?
0.3.
Bag.
It was ludicrous. And for a couple of days, people were losing their minds over this thing. And Bungie decided, okay, well, we can't get a fix out for this in record time to stop people from using it in trials. So what we'll do is we'll give it to Xur. We'll have him sell it so everybody can have it. And what followed was 3 days of absolute insanity in the Crucible of everybody just shooting lasers like stormtroopers all over the place and people dying like crazy. It was nuts. It could be headache inducing at times, but if you just learn to not care and play it, it was fun. It was fun to just go in there and pew things away. And then after that, we have, of course, Mayhem, which dropped with the Dawning. I don't know about you guys, and I swear my question's coming up soon, but Mayhem, I have not gone back and played a significant amount of Destiny 2 Crucible since, I haven't played that much Crucible since Mayhem came out. Like, I had basically stopped playing D2 Crucible for a while, and I have played so many hours of just running around as a Hammer Titan, or being that jerk who's dropping tethers around corners and watching you walk into it so I can say, ha! No fun for you. Mayhem has just been so much fun for me to go through and just play again. It feels like the kind of PvP that I left behind in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
And so it led me to this. I think the lesson here is that, and if you go back and look at player numbers, I'm almost sure that the player numbers for Mayhem have been way higher than they were previous to the Dawning coming out for just overall Crucible. I think people miss having that kind of power. I think people miss having the ability to make plays like you did in Destiny 1. And so what I was asking to chat was like, how do you feel about this? Do you feel that Mayhem Crucible is more fun than normal Crucible in Destiny? Do you wish you had that level of power more often? And I'm not saying everything has to be as strong as crazy broken Prometheus lens, but I do feel like a lesson there is to be learned about how much power players are really missing right now, and overall what that could mean for Crucible and for PvE. Shoot, go. I'm done.
That's a really good question. I mean, like, I had a good time too playing Mayhem. It was really goofy. I think people needed it. You know what I mean? Because, like, I don't know, things have been kind of a little stale, a little dry. We only have 2 playlists, you know what I mean? And nobody plays competitive because, like, there's no penalty for quitting out. Like,
Yep.
So it's like, it's fucking annoying. Everybody's playing quick play. And yeah, it was just fun because, like, you know, the power ammo is everywhere. You got your super. Everyone's throwing crazy attacks at each other. It was super fun. And, like, every content creator that I know was like, yeah, this is really entertaining. Like, people who had taken a break from the game for weeks, you know what I mean? They all came back because they were really entertaining and enjoying Mayhem. And I feel like I shouldn't need to say this. Also, I don't want to say it because it's been said about 10 fucking million times. But, like, can we just please have more playlists? I'm still, like, baffled. I'm sure it was... Yeah. They didn't just be like, hey, you know, it'd be hilarious if we had, like, 2 game playlists in the game. Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah, like,
That's good.
Yeah, but
That's
don't
fine.
people want more than 2?
Yeah, that is the number one thing that I would like to see.
Yeah, let's
Upcoming.
bring more in because people really enjoy that, and I'm pretty sure that the player numbers might dip down a little bit after Mayhem because it was just so entertaining and ridiculous that, like, going back to, I mean, I can go back to regular PvP because whatever, but some people might not come back, and I think that's a shame. And I always think that variety is the spice of life. So why not throw it in there? Why not get just a really goofy playlist in there? Because people like having fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with TBL there. I think that this is the most that I've played Crucible in a long time, and I actually just went back today because I was grinding on my PC characters and I was doing like the Crucible quest, and I was just I threw in a match of like regular control, and Jesus, no, like as soon as that match was done, I just went back into Mayhem because it's just so slow. Like, and I'm just like referring to like, you know, power ammo and like ability regen, like having the Mayhem
really slow in general.
Yeah, like having the benefits of Mayhem just make the game feel a little bit closer to that of like the D1 kind of like golden age that you know we're used to.
Yeah.
No, I'm in complete agreement because, like I mentioned earlier, I really do thrive on that chaos and excitement, and you just go and everybody's just messing each other right up with everything they can throw, and that's the most exciting for me personally. So this is definitely the most fun I've had since D2 launch, probably in the Crucible. Running around with the colony, just firing it around corners, getting heavy ammo every 5 seconds, and Nova bombs.
It's been very hectic.
So good.
I went in there with a Sunbreaker Titan and Colony. I got we ran out of medals and Unbreakable in the same match. It's so dumb.
Colony is really fun.
So dumb.
Yeah, no,
although it's bugged on PC.
Yeah, you know
Did you
what?
hear about that?
I was gonna have a conversation with you today about that Fallout because I finally got the colony this week, and so I was like, oh, awesome! Let me head into Crucible, and so I'm just firing it everywhere, and I'm just watching these bugs stand there and die, and I'm like, Chase, maybe? Am I using this wrong?
Yeah.
Did I not set it? Did I not set it to Wombo? What's going on here?
Dude, my friend randomly hit me up. So I had made a video about how I love the colony. Fantastic weapon. If you don't know about it, you're fucking up. It's an exotic grenade launcher that fires little spider robots, and they don't just act like grenades. They've got like brains. Like you fire them, and they're like, all right, where's the bad guy? And then they run after him, and they blow up. But it's fucking hilarious. And I made a video on why I think it's a really great gun, and we need more guns like that in D2 because it re-energized me. I was like, when I got that gun, I had no idea what it was, and I was like, whatever, I'll use it. And I was like laughing the whole day. I was like, we need this. We need more fun, random bullshittery. I want to find whoever made that gun. Yeah. Give them a medal. But anyway, I got a whole bunch of people being like, dude, this gun blows, Fallout. Like why do you like this gun? It's like literal garbage. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, dude, I ruin people with this gun. And then, 2-3 weeks later, my buddy Pump Train, God knows what he was fucking doing. I don't know. Like if you have D2 on PC, you don't touch the frame rate option. Yeah. Okay. Like, because the most people who I know, we've built PCs to play this game on PC. And like, dude, if you have like 180 FPS, you're you're like, whoa, yeah, you'll be fun if I turned it down to 30. So God knows what my friend Pump Train was doing, but he was tinkering around with the frame rate, and he figured out that frame rate affects the tracking on the colony. If you have a really high frame rate, like the players on PC do, they're not going to track, or they're going to try, but they're going to run super wide. It's like they're going too fast. They can't turn. And it's terrible. And I made a video on that, and holy shit, that blew up the front page of DTG real fucking quick.
Yeah.
with a lot of salt. But isn't it hilarious? Like, kind of sad, but like that there are glitches in the game that are tied to frame rate. How odd.
Yeah.
Like
because it's not the first one.
No, it's not. There was a clip from Holtzman when he was going through the man cannon, the lift, or whatever that thing is called, in the Curse.
It'll just launch you.
Yeah, and he would like slam into a wall. He was like, that was weird. And then he'd go back in, and it would launch him, and he'd slam into the wall. He's like, what the fuck is happening? But yeah, that's weird. If you have the colony on PC, it's not you, okay? It's not you. Just wait for them to do whatever they're going to do. It's definitely not, don't turn your frame rate down to use the colony. As much as I love the frame rate, please don't turn the frame. I mean, as much as I love the colony, please don't turn the frame rate down.
Yeah, it's probably not a worthwhile decision to turn VSync on just for the colony. No, keep those beautiful frames.
Don't do it.
But yeah, man, and That's also something that's been wonderful for Mayhem. It's made reviewing heavy weapons so much easier. Normally getting footage for like power weapons in Crucible is a nightmare because you got to fight with your team to actually get those things. I've been running around with the Perfect Paradox shotgun. I absolutely love that thing, and I've got a lot of play with it in Mayhem, just running around slide shotgunning. That thing's got a massive amount of range. Its rate of fire, it's basically a Hawthorne's. I love that thing. It might not be Fallout's deer hand in hand, but it's a super silly, super beautiful thing, and I've just been able to run around with that, play the game. Shoot, I even busted out a couple of sniper rifles to act dumb and get headshots on people in, armored supers and whatnot. And God, do I love Mayhem. It's just a fun game mode. It's just a super fun game mode, and I really think it shows that more so than balance, players care about fun.
Yeah.
They care about enjoying the experience that they have in there. Yeah, focus on balance for something like competitive, but maybe tune things up for your normal PvP mode. Bring us back that 6v6.
We just need variety. Give us variety.
Oh yeah.
And it sucks because the whole balance versus fun thing is, and I've said this time and time again, but it's kind of the bed that the community made. Cause
you know what? Yeah.
Everybody was because
tell me.
in D1 everyone was like, "Oh, everything's too OP and like this gun, that gun, nerf this, nerf, whatever." And people wanted more balance, especially the PvP gods that we have in the community.
Yeah, definitely.
They wanted things to be more balanced. They didn't want,
they wanted more primary
shot down in
play.
0.3 seconds by the
We
doctor,
wanted
and
more
they didn't
primary play. Now that's all you get.
and that too, exactly. And we're seeing this a lot now. So I kind of feel like this is sort of what we asked for, but not what we were expecting, maybe.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like Fallout has different ideas here, so I kind of want to mediate this and be like
what?
back and forth. About players making the bed that we're in right now.
Oh gosh, it's a whole tangled web. I mean, like
It really is. And I'm not trying to oversimplify it.
No,
like,
of course
it's
not.
way more complicated than that, but it's.
I mean,
definitely
there's
a
some
factor.
people who are like, back in D1, I would get, angry messages after a game. People being like, bro, use a fucking primary. Use a fucking primary, dude.
It's like,
and
why?
First of all, why? Using shotguns and snipers and whatever is hilarious. And like, it's fucking entertaining as hell. And I wish I could find someone and like sit them down and be like, did you get what you wanted?
Yeah.
Did you get what you wanted? Are you happy with using the primaries now? Are you happy that, can't use a shotgun, fusion rifle,
Ask
sniper whenever
anybody
you
who
want?
he's stuck with.
Yeah.
Happy, you fucking piece of shit.
You ruined
You
it.
fucking wanted it. And
This
you
is
shake.
your
You
fault.
just
No,
shake
Blew
him
it
until
up.
he starts crying. But like, I mean, it's.
There's a lot there, and
I was gonna say like it's kind of like making a wish, and then the genie gives you like an evil version of the wish. You know what I mean? But they
As
didn't
they
do
do.
it on purpose to be like evil. It was like you told
You
the
didn't
genie
think
you
your
wanted a
request
wish,
through. Yeah.
and he was like,
That's it.
"I'm gonna take you literally if you don't think it through," and then
Yep.
it fucking happened.
What
You know
was
what I mean?
that,
Because
Tuesday?
like. Because we want more. I understand that people in D1 wanted more primary gunfights because, like, you fight someone who's just using nothing but like, or just like early D1, like they're using nothing but a shotgun, literally like nothing but a shotgun or like nothing but a sniper.
Matador.
You're like, God damn it, dude! Like, can we get some like primary fucking gunfights here? But so I understand that, but taking them out completely to the power ammo position, it's like, ugh, like.
Yeah, that was
I'm
a
glad
mistake.
that we're doing more primary fighting, but the primaries take a long time to kill, and it like leads to this insane meta of like just nonstop team shotting. So like people are going around the maps in big clumps, and like they're just like bang bang that guy, like they just team shoot the crap out of him, and it's like, oh god, like I just wish it was just a little bit tweaked. And I don't know how they would re-implement it, but I do miss the ability to just use a sniper or a shotgun or a fusion, like whenever.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
It's really fun. It was really
The
fun.
more I go back and play D1 and like with my friends in private matches and whatnot, the more I'm missing the original system.
Yeah.
I think like if they would have just I mean, I can understand a grenade killing in one shot. Like
That's different. I understand.
Well, the thing with the grenades though, I can understand them killing in one shot. It's a grenade. They're supposed to be strong. What I disagreed with is a grenade doing a 90-degree turn around a corner and chasing you.
That's what I was saying. It's like
Magnetism.
people are like, there's no game that deserves to have a one-shot grenade. I was like, that's not true, because think about classic Halo. Like I played Halo 2, Halo 3, loved those games. They're super entertaining. And the Halo 2 sticky grenade was a one-shot kill, but nobody ever complained about it. Because like, well, why? Because it doesn't have crazy magnetism. When you throw it, you actually have to land the nade. It can't just be like, oh, I throw it over there. It's like whoop, and then it comes right to you.
Yeah.
And the time it would take to, like, if you missed, it would like bounce off the wall, and then it would land on the ground, and then it would take like 2 full seconds before it detonated. So like it was really balanced in that way. So like,
Right.
yeah, I understand that it's very frustrating.
And for like the Call of Duty players, it's like a Semtex grenade where you just
Yeah,
chuck it.
you
Yeah,
you actually stick
you
it
have
on
to
somebody.
land it exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like,
See, I
don't
would've been
understand
all
the
right with that.
magnetism. Yeah, if they had taken away the magnetism, I think that would have been great. That people probably would have been really happy about that.
That's
I would
actually
have liked it.
yeah.
Somebody in the Twitch chat right now on our live stream just mentioned that Bungie, it seems like Bungie kind of overcorrected based on the general consensus of how the meta was and how things worked in D1.
Yep.
And then they brought that to D2. So it's going to take some fine tuning for sure if anything's to be fixed. So
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that comment. I was just reading it, and I agree. I think their design for Destiny 2's PvP was very much focused on kinds of some of the feedback they got from D1 PvP. Oh, well, there's not enough primary fights. Well, grenades are too strong. Well, we really, really, really want a competitive scene. And I think they kind of took all of that and decided to try and build a competitive scene from the ground up for Destiny 2's PvP. And in that, I think they definitely, I would agree, they swung a little too far away from what made the game unique and fun in the first place. And thankfully, that's actually something I think that was also brought up in the High Five guy in his post. He talked to a lot of devs behind the scene who agree with that and say, we feel like we have swung a little too far. And it's great to know that those kinds of conversations are happening behind the scenes at Bungie. And hopefully we do see a correction coming, because I would like to see 6v6 come back. I would like to see a more diversified loadout so that I don't have to use dual primary. I can actually choose to use a shotgun.
And dude, you know what's funny? It's like the response to, like, if the community goes, hey, you know what? We really want 6v6 back because like it was fun and we miss it. And Bungie, their response could be, it's like, well, we didn't build the game to function as a 6v6 game. And it's like, bitch, you didn't design the fucking Prometheus rifle to burn a hole in the ozone layer, but fucking everybody loves that anyway. So like, I don't care what it was designed to do. I care about what it can do. All right.
Results.
Give us the option for 6v6. We'll tinker around. I mean, isn't this kind of why it would be really cool to have that, like, what's it called? The PTR?
The PTR.
Playtest region?
Playtest region or realm.
That would be so... Playtest realm. That makes it sound like so...
it's magical.
Mystical.
Realm. Where anything can happen. But yeah, that would be cool. I think we're all just kind of in the same boat right now, aren't we? We're all just
Definitely.
For some of us, we're having a really good time on the boat. Other people, it's raining on the boat. Other people, it's raining and they're seasick on the boat. But
Some people are actively gouging holes in the bottom of the boat.
Bungie sucks as they're sinking the game.
Some people have abandoned the boat, and that's just do what you want to do. But for those of us who are still here in the boat, we're just waiting. That's all we're doing. It's just waiting, and all we can do is wait together. And I'm not gonna beat the bungo shill drum all day. Like if there are other games out there that you are enjoying right now, play them. I encourage you strongly to play them. Dragon Ball FighterZ is coming out next week, and I'm gonna beat everybody's ass. All right, I'm gonna go play that game.
Who's your mains?
I don't know, dude. The open beta is this weekend. I'm probably gonna. I don't know. I'm really excited about it. Okay.
And that's the thing too. Like, there's so many options right now. There are so many good games out and coming out that if you don't like Destiny, you are more than welcome to go play something else because it's a video game. You want to have fun.
Moon,
and we
people
all
like to be mad at things.
Yeah,
we all
do.
want it to be good. We
Hey,
want
buddy,
it to be.
you don't need to tell me that. But
I know.
listen,
Hey, buddy.
I know.
You don't need to tell me, buddy.
buddy pal.
But yeah, we all want it to be good, in whatever good means. to you because it's different when you ask different people. But yeah,
I feel like. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying, I feel like Destiny 2 is going to be like the Division of this year, where people abandon ship like fairly early, and then later on in the year,
Maybe
we're going to see like the resurgence of like people when like the big expansion drops or something, and
I think that would be great.
I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Fucking
yeah,
good.
if the expansion comes out and it features a lot of structural changes for D2, which I'd imagine it would based on the feedback that's been given to Bungie thus far. Yeah, we all know Destiny 2 is capable of being an absolutely incredible game. There's a reason we all keep coming back to it, including the super salty people in the community, of which I am one. But it's because we like the game and we want it to be good, and that's why we critique it. That's why we talk about this kind of stuff. We understand there are problems with it. We want it to be better. And I have to believe that there's going to be some changes towards that sometime in the future. Maybe even as close as the upcoming spring DLC. They've got a lot of quality of life changes they've got on the table that maybe we'll be seeing implemented there or in an expansion later on.
I would hope so. Although just to be the kind of like reserved guy, I don't know how much could they actually implement into that
in an expansion or in a DLC.
In the Gods of Mars, or
if that's the name of it. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now, like what it would take for like a huge wave of every content creator I know to like dive back in headfirst. It would be change to the sandbox to make faster time to kill for the primary weapons.
Yes.
It would take that. It would take a lot of toning down of the Eververse. It would take a lot of that.
Yep.
It would take ranked play, but we already know that's coming. Like ranked matches, it would take custom games, but like really customizable custom games, and it would take a lot of new PvP playlists, more than just the current system of like, oh yeah, we have like played competitive.
Absolutely.
And then if all that happened, there would be no doubt in my mind. Now that might be a lot to ask for, considering like I'm sure these changes take a long time to implement, but I'm just saying, in a air quote perfect world, that is what would happen. That would like ring the dinner bell for a lot of people that I know to come flooding back to the game. So
yeah,
I mean,
essentially would definitely be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ranked and like private matches, but I feel like we would have to have D2 in the state that D1 finished in terms of like having like the strike specific loot, the strike scoring, ornaments that are earnable in game. What else? The private matches, the ranked and whatnot. I feel like those are like the big things that like, I mean, it's things that we thought was going to carry over.
Things that we thought were going to be in the base game,
yeah. Awkward. Sort of thought that was going to be in the game day one. Awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I mean, yeah, and there's a couple of other things, not quite as important as some of those things you've mentioned, but I really have a strong suspicion that returning world spaces are going to be a thing sometime soon.
I would love that.
Yeah, I get the feeling we'll be heading back to the Dreadnought, to the Cosmodrome, to Venus, to Mars. There's already hints towards that in the base game, based off of data dumps from audio files.
You made a video about that, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. She watches my stuff. But there's audio files that are in Destiny 2's code right now that directly reference like the Cosmodrome, the Ishtar Sink, Mars. Yeah, like there's. You know how when you go to a planet, you pick up like a patrol mission or something, and
sure, yeah.
I don't know, Lakshmi will tell you to go collect something. Those kinds of audio logs are in the game, and they're not transferred over from Destiny 1. They're brand new audio logs referencing like the Cosmodrome, you going back to the Dreadnought, all that kind of stuff in D2.
God damn. I didn't know.
And it's in there in the game code. There's a lot of other spoilery things that I'm not going to talk about though, especially one big thing that makes my heart sad. But
oh boy.
That actually links in with something else Jason Schreier talked about on the Destiny Tracker podcast. In that Destiny 2 originally was going to have all of those Destiny 1 world spaces in the base game, but it was actually something they decided not quite late in development, but sometime in development they decided to take that stuff out and focus only on new things. And I found that to be really interesting. if I'm not misquoting Schreier here, but I do believe he believed that to be a mistake. He figured players would have enjoyed having that old content back, and I would too. And just based on the fact that those audio files are in the game, I do believe we'll probably be seeing all of those things come back, and I wouldn't be mad about it. Not even mad.
I would love that.
Yeah, because I know we've had the exotics debate about 8,000 times.
You already lost. You already lost.
But no, when it comes to like giving me places to like go and do stuff with, like I'm all for that. And especially if it's the Dreadnought, come on, give me more Dreadnought.
Oh yeah,
that's your place, man.
Mr. Hive fanboy.
This
over
man
here.
needs more Dreadnought. You gotta give it to him.
Yeah, no, I think that would be really cool. Random thought, or random train of thought. You know how this leak of the DLC, the Gods of Mars, mentioned that we're gonna have 2 new enemies. It was like the frames, and nanites, right?
And nanites.
Okay, so in the tower, if you go to the little area where Dead Orbit is in the hangar, there you can see some people working on the robots, like the frames.
The frames, yeah.
There's one that you can actually investigate, and the ghost tells you that somebody is trying to hack into the frames, and the code that keeps repeating is Arcite and Dahlia over and over again. And I thought that was really, really interesting.
Oh man, that actually kind of that kind of brings a lot of validity to the leak, talking about Charlemagne essentially hacking into some frames, infecting them with SIVA, and using them as weapons.
Yeah,
could be a thing.
Oh shit.
Neat.
Which I just realized we haven't even talked about the Gods of Mars potential Destiny 2 leak.
God damn it. We'll do it next week with Mega.
Okay. Yeah. I want to hear his thoughts on the frozen caps of Mars. You hear that, Mega?
Hopefully we'll hear more about that soon, because when Curse of Osiris info leaked, Urk was just like, yeah, no, that's real.
Yeah. Yeah. It's real. Well, it's out there. Take it.
It's not a leak, it's real.
Yeah. And I mean, we know that DLC is supposed to be dropping sometime in the spring, and that only leaves a couple more months, so we're probably going to be ramping up into the advertisement period for that in like a month or so. Yep. We should be learning more.
God damn.
But yeah, we can cover that more when Mega's here, so we can hear his happy, beautiful thoughts. As for right now, do you guys think it's time to move on to some questions?
Yep.
100%.
Yerp. Yo.
Questions in the chat. Go.
I know you're super mad about old exotics coming back, but it's too late. The spigot's already turned on. We got Telesto the Besto, which, by the way, if you haven't used Telesto, it's great in Mayhem. Like, that thing shuts down supers like nobody's business.
It does.
But we got Telesto, Jade Rabbit. Yes. I want my Hawkmoon.
Yes.
I want my Ram back. I know it's not a gun, but
Ram.
Give me the Ram.
Okay, so y'all, I got some Warlock brothers and sisters here right now. Why in the world did we get the Stag? Right? Why was that what they gave us?
No, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Stag is garbage.
Oh, God.
It's like I'm sitting here, I've got this Ophidian aspect, and I'm like, Stag? Why?
No.
I mean,
it gives you rift energy when you die for your teammates.
I mean, I guess that's kind of helpful in PvP. It's not helpful in PvE, but in PvP you're dying a lot, probably. But man, come on, just give me the Ram back. Give me that extra armor. Just let me stack it.
It's my aesthetic. I need it. I need it now. I need it yesterday.
I care about it more now because it looks fucking badass. I wear it all the time because it looks really goddamn cool.
Isn't it, Fallout?
Dude, it just looks fucking cool. I can't describe it. Like it appeals to the not the Stag, excuse me, the Ram. It just appeals to the inner loser, hot topic, edgy 12-year-old in me. You know what I mean?
Oh my god,
it had form
like a mood, dude.
And function.
It's such a mood.
That thing had form and function. It allowed you to survive a 2-tap to the head from Thorn back in year 1.
Okay,
here's some Sunsinger. You could like tank so much crap.
All right,
worth. Absolutely worth.
We got some questions in the chat.
All right,
Dr. Strangelove, why the hell was Hardlight brought back? I have no idea. It was brought back for people like Mega Magwitch who make fucking weird ass videos of.
But they can't make it because there's no sword glitch now.
Rip.
Saw something weird in the blank. It's a visual gun. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Who is the guy on the bottom of the screen? The fuck you talking about? That's the black link, bro. What are you?
What's up? How's it going?
That's Teft. That's Teft.
That's me. I'm Teft.
Let's see. Do you think Bungie should have taken a year or two off?
Yes.
You mean like to making Destiny 2?
I actually had that
question.
poll on my Twitter for about a week. Yes. I had the options of if people were fine with Destiny 2, which you can imagine the percentage number on that, would an extra year or two of development help the game? I'm done with the game. And surprisingly, a lot of the people, it was almost like a 50-50. It was like 47 to 48. The 47% of the people thought that an extra year or two of development would have helped the game.
Think so?
Yeah, probably.
And it got a sizable like number of like votes. It was almost like at least 200 people, participated on that. So it's like it was decent amount of the people, that are still on board.
There,
Yeah.
Fallout.
I just got the Gemini Jester.
Oh, dude, those are so much fun.
I just got them. I'm
There you go.
happy.
I saw Kuja using them earlier.
Dude, I am.
Those are great.
Next weekend, fucking watch out, dude. I'm going into Trials as a hunter. The first time in like a long fucking time. I'm taking a break from Warlock. Taking a break!
It's kind of heresy, but what's funny about the notion, of people saying, if Bungie had another year or so to work on the game, it probably would have been in a better state. Something else that was reported on by Jason Schreier about a year and a half ago is that apparently Destiny 2 got rebooted something like 16, 17 months before its launch date this year. They started working on Destiny 2, I think, right after the Taken King came out, initially. And, like a year or so into that, they basically didn't quite have to start over, but they swapped directors. That's when Luke Smith took over, and they rebooted development of the game. So they really only had like a little over a year and a half, apparently, to work on Destiny 2. And
it's literally D1 all over again.
It's D1 all over again. It's the same story.
Literally, step by step, it's D1.
My question is, if that actually had happened, taking like a step back and trying to have some perspective, what would the community have done if we had do you think Bungie was maybe thinking this is a horrible business decision because
it was
apparently will fall off?
Apparently it was Activision. They had already postponed D2, and Activision was like, we can't postpone this game any longer. You guys are on contract for like a 10-year deal. We already altered the arrangements of the arrangement of this deal to allow for you guys to get out of making 2 DLC packs a year for D1. Gotta give us that D2 sometime in 2017. And so they only had about a year and a half really to rework all the things they had worked on, which kind of explains why maybe explains some of the absence of some of the extra things like Shrek specific gear and ornaments and whatnot. But I thought that was really interesting that essentially the exact same thing happened with Destiny 2 as this, the very famous story of Destiny 1's development, where it basically got completely tossed out and revamped like 13 months before it launched. Craziness, man.
Yeah.
There's a really good question in the chat right now from Maddie May Grin. Do you think a record book idea from D1 would be a good alternative to the Eververse? And I've been thinking about that for the past 5 seconds, which is a lot of seconds for me to think about.
It's a lot of time.
I mean, essentially, that could easily be substituted as challenges.
It would never happen. But it's really great to think about. That's really cool, because then you would have more items that would be, if you had it in a way where like every time you complete a challenge in the record book, it would be like some kind of guaranteed reward. You know what I mean? And you could see like if you complete this, you get this. And then people would have a purpose to grind. People would have a purpose to be like, oh, I want that challenge. I want to get like, 5 Nova Bomb kills in one game of PvP, and then I unlock this skin for the stag or whatever. You know what I mean? That would be really cool. And then you could still go to the Eververse if one of the items unlockable by a challenge was just something that like you couldn't. I don't know. Like if you're just like, fuck it, I don't want to grind for that. Like, but that would be nice, because then you would have a whole option of things that you could go for. It's like, this is the challenge, here's the reward, boom, you nailed it. You know what I mean?
Rather than Yeah,
I mean, I
rather
think
than a replacement, it would be a good addition, possibly.
Yeah.
I think at that point it might be just like easier to like put those challenges or tie those challenges to the weapon itself, and use the weapon and get kills with the colony and
Unlock the ornament.
You get like
for it.
100 kills with it, and you get the ornament.
Dude,
for
there
it.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I
Kill-
love it.
Kill 100 ultras, you get the ornament for it. That way,
Yeah.
you actually have to run strikes or something.
Fucking
Exactly.
love it.
Can
You
I
know,
tell you what my favorite thing about the colony is,
Tell me.
other than just his playstyle, is that you can
Please
see
do.
the little spider legs in the chamber. I just need everybody to know that.
Yeah.
It's really important and adorable.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's-
continue.
Just to freak you out when you're using it. But yeah, I think that's a great idea, and that's actually something I thought about, specifically with events like the Dawning, because as I complained about earlier in the stream, I have not gotten a single piece of Dawning armor.
Not at all.
Not a single one.
Really?
I've got 2 days left to get the Warlock set.
I
and
haven't done anything in the Dawning at all,
Yeah.
other than throwing snowballs at people in the tower and Mayhem.
Is
Oh
that
my
what
gosh.
the gifts are for?
Nothing.
Getting
Yeah.
the Dawning stuff? Yeah.
I don't advocate bullying, but I've been throwing snowballs at people buying stuff from Eververse. I'll just sit by it, and every time I see a bunch of Eververse stuff pop up, snowball. Stop it. Stop it.
We're really bad at answering questions quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, are we supposed to be answering them quickly?
No, I mean, maybe not, but I do feel bad that so many questions get left unanswered. So many questions left unanswered.
Okay, well, let me just say one thing, and then we can move on to the next one.
Sure.
I did think about this whole record book idea, and I love the record books in Destiny 1. I thought it was really cool, and I thought that it was cool that completing all of those things gave you like special rewards, like a t-shirt in real life.
Yeah.
But
I want more shirts.
I want more shirts.
Okay.
But when it came to the Dawn,
Yeah,
something
now
I specifically...
you want to talk about it?
You mad about it?
No.
Stay mad
No, let's move
forever.
on.
Okay.
Hey, let's move on.
But one of the things with the Dawning that I really thought should have been the case is the daily gifts. I thought that was cool. You know, you go out, you do some grinding for stuff, you kill some mobs, you get a gift. I thought that a great way to give everybody access to the Dawning armor, just in case their RNG is bad, because again, that armor's only available in the loot boxes. I thought it would have been great if you complete all of the daily gifts, you finish all of those gift quests for all of the NPCs, it rewards you with a full set of that Dawning armor at the end. That way, you encourage people to play the event, you encourage people to complete the quest, and people who don't buy those things or just aren't lucky with RNG can still get that special event gear. And I'm mad that that didn't happen. Next question.
Jingleheimer, would lucky rounds break D2 Crucible? Oh God.
Yes.
Yeah.
If as
Yeah,
is.
It would be
fuck that.
fun to deal with.
No more lucky rounds ever. I don't like anything
My Hawk
involving any RNG. Like, I know it was hilarious to get like a 2-shot kill with the Hawk Moon or whatever, but like, no, I don't want my gunfights decided by a coin flip. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I completely
yeah.
agree with that.
No.
Leave that one.
Yes.
Leave that one where it is. Yeah. That's just one man's opinion.
Put that
but-
perk
Just give
where
it to me.
shop
Don't listen to
package went.
CB. I'll just leave it where it is.
Let's see. Where would you put more stuff? Is that a question?
Where
Would
we
you-
put more stuff.
my
Where we
vault?
put
More
vault
stuff?
with extended space.
More vault space.
More is that a sly way of getting us to talk about more vault space? You shrewd devil, you.
Do we
don't
want more
even think-
vault space? Yes or no?
I mean,
Sure,
always
yeah,
want more
why
vault
not?
space.
Yeah, I
but
mean that question's always yes.
I think they should just do a better job of giving us
yes.
inventory management. Why do shaders
God,
take up
yeah.
space? Why do ornaments take up space in my inventory?
Why do I have to
why is that a
delete
thing?
shaders?
One by one.
One by one.
What- no, just I mean, yeah, I'll always take more vault space, but manage the inventory a little better than we do now, Bungie, please.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Like the
Please
mod
let
system's
go.
terrible.
Look, man.
It's terrible.
I'm really anal. I need better organization. I have spent this entire podcast organizing my vault and my postmaster, and I'm not done yet. I'm still fucking doing it. It's been over an hour. I'm still sitting here.
The absolute
Yeah.
best.
God. Oh, whatever.
Got time for a few more?
Maybe one more. One more really good question. Let's find a good one. I gotta scroll up. Hold on.
Oh yeah, we missed a lot. Sheesh.
Yeah, we did.
We're terrible. We're sorry.
Actually, I think we got a decent. Has the addition of Masterwork weapons made you grind more? From
Little bit.
Grifter.
No.
Well,
Not for me.
that's honest. That's an honest answer. Yeah, it hasn't for me. Like, I just do trials carries. Like, I don't really raid that much. Like, if my girlfriend really wants to raid, then like, okay, maybe I'll raid. But like, I just do trials carries. I haven't been going out of my way to get Masterwork things, but like, they just come to me if you play a lot of trials. It's a good concept, the Masterwork thing, but I feel like we need a little more. I feel like we need a little more because like, oh man, +5 reload speed. you shouldn't have, like.
You really shouldn't have.
we can do better in the mod department, and I think Bungie knows that. Lord knows they've gotten a lot of feedback on the mod system, most of it negative. So hopefully they know that by now we want a different kind of mod system. But no, I don't think I have grinded any harder. Like when it first came out, I was really like, oh yeah, dude, we gotta get the Masterwork. But now I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like if I get it, then yay. And if I don't, then fucking who cares?
Yeah, I haven't really done any explicit grinding for Masterworks because their drop rate seems kind of wonky right now. But I will say I do like the Masterworks system. I think it's overall a step forward, but it needs to be expanded upon. Just like the mod system right now. It's okay, but it needs to be, it's a little underwhelming. It needs to be, there's so much more they could do there. And stop being, good Lord, Bungie. Look, man, I know you're all about balance right now. Stop being afraid. Give us the ability to change our impact, our rate of fire. Just more is better. Do it. I dare you.
Yeah.
Do it.
I fucking dare you. Dare
you won't.
Do it.
Right. But yeah, Masterwork systems, it's okay. It needs more.
Well put. And I think on that note, that's probably a good note to end on, don't you think?
Moon already left.
Yeah, I guess so.
Already gone.
Sorry about it.
That's enough
The
about
webcam
that.
was like, maybe not.
Dipped out. All right, we're going to do a short version of the ending here. Thanks for joining us on the PD podcast. Come back next weekend, same time. We're going to be here with Mega Magwitch, who's hopefully not dying right now. He's sick.
Yeah, wish him well.
So wish him well. I'm going to call out each of you, and I just want you to tell the people where they can find you. Don't do the little intro thing. Just give me a link, all right? Nem, go.
Twitch.tv/nemplays.
Love it. Moon, go.
Twitch.tv/Moonvald.
Link, hit me.
The black link everywhere. Absolutely.
Fallout Plays everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We will see you next weekend. Thanks for being here. You're all awesome. Thanks for hanging out in the boat with us while we wait for changes. Peace out.